During the time of the American Revolution, many of the women, as a patriotic duty or a gesture, sewed shirts for the soldiers, and many spun their own cloth. This is made out of linen that I wove, and I'm sewing a shirt for my husband. I thought I would share a little bit about the differences with 18th century men's shirts as they are today. There are many differences. First of all, this is just a basic homespun linen. It's during the Revolution, in the homespun era, we sacrificed a lot of the beautiful fine linens that would be woven in England. It's somewhat crude in nature. It's a lovely, warm, and soft because it's been washed in several times. The construction of this shirt I'm working on at this point. I need to secure my needle, but this construction is somewhat different. Of course, we're sewing it by hand. When you weave a fabric by hand, it's nice to sew it by hand. That was my thimble. And so you can see the basic construction of a man's shirt. My husband's a tall man, and it's a large shirt. As far as the girth, it'll come in a little bit when I do this side seam. But you'll notice it has quite a large collar, and on the sides of the collar, we have gussets. We have a triangular gusset right on the edge of the collar, and then another extra seam on the shoulder strap, as well as going down the side of the shirt, attaching the sleeve. You don't have those in the modern shirts for men. The reason why you would have these is because these are wear points. You would have lots of wear around your neck. You would have lots of wear on the seams of the shoulder, what this is, as well as this is reinforcement on the inside to reinforce where the sleeve attaches to the body. There are also gussets in the underarm, a large square here, and that offers for better range of motion, roominess. If they wear that out, it's easier to replace that piece than the entire shirt. Another interesting thing, usually these shirts, now I'm all kind of, there we go. Usually these shirts, because this is hand woven, these shirts would have been just one open seam and then, or one open piece of cloth and the seams on the side, but because this is hand woven, we're taking advantage of our nice selvage. And so the selvage of the weaving will go in the front, and then to protect, we have a seam going down the front, and to protect that and reinforce that, there's also a little square gusset right here in the front. And the last little gusset that you'll find on these shirts is at the hemline. There's a slit in the hemline, and there'll be another gusset here again to give it strength. It looks somewhat awkward because it comes out and it doesn't fold neatly. It makes a little triangle. There's a reason for that. In the 18th century, this was also a man's undergarment. And so before he put his breeches on, he had his shirt. He'd sleep in his shirt. He didn't wear underdrawers. What he did was pull the back of the shirt up between his legs, the front of the shirt back, and those were his drawers, so to speak. So you needed a longer hem. So even though this looks like it would fit a giant, it's his drawers, it's his shirt, it's his nightgown, it's, you know, many things in one. And so it's very long, so it would go and serve as drawers as well. So there you have it, the basic differences in an 18th century shirt as opposed to a 19th century shirt, and the type of shirt that would be hand sewn for our soldiers during the Revolutionary War. A little nod to Esther Reed and Sarah Franklin Bache and the ladies of the Philadelphia Society that sewed many, many for George Washington's army. At the neck and the cuffs, we would also have thread buttons. You could have bone or horn, wooden buttons, shell buttons, but very common with this type of shirt would be basic thread buttons. And I'll get to that a little bit later. In the homespun era, we also, ladies who would weave, did other things for their family.